Okay, all right. This is the Mcbride basic t-shirt, patterns in class. I'm gonna make it really quick. All right, get your fabric laid out, fold it exactly just how much you need. Don't fold salvage to salvage. You just need to do it so you can find the grain so that it's parallel to the fold. I'm gonna lay it out. I'm not stretching or distorting anything. I need a little bit more. Just adjust it. Okay, I'm looking to make sure that the ribs in the interlock knit are parallel to the fold or on the fold. Okay. All right, there's my line for cutting on the fold. Okay, pattern weight is recommended, but I can do it without one. Okay, and then take my snips so I can, let's see, this is the back. Ooh, these are dull too. And then I'll do one on the side right here. Okay, good enough. All right, so there's the back. Cut that off so it's out of my way. That's good, I guess. And I need 2 sleeves. So the sleeves, you're not cutting on the fold, but you are cutting 2 at once. And I need to make sure, nope, that doesn't fit. So I'll move up a little bit. And I'm going to fold it on the lengthwise, excuse me, I'm gonna fold it so that my grain line here goes parallel. So again, I'm folding it on the grain so I can find that vertical rib pattern in the knit so that I know I'm on grain. Smooth it out. Oh, I need a little more. So I'm double layered, but I'm not cutting on the fold. I'm just folding it so I can find my grain, and I can do 2 cuts at once because I need to cut 2. So I got that. All right. I'm not gonna get into that corner. If I can avoid it, I'll use shears. so I don't cut my pattern. And you should use a weight, but I'm just using the pressure of my left arm. These are a little dull, so I'm trying to use the inside. Okay, there we go. All right. So this, oh, is there iron going? Kennedy, can you get me iron going? For cotton. So we're gonna hem that in a minute. All right, and then the neckband, the measurement for that is in the slides. It is 14 3/4 by 2 1/4. So this is the rib knit for the ribbing. And find the edge, don't be cutting big holes in the middle of this stuff. There's no selvage on this fabric, it's in a tube. Smooth that out, and I need, actually, is there a metal ruler handy? Anybody? There we go. That'll work. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna trim up this edge. I got my grain here. What is it? 14 3/4. We'll go up here. 14 3/4. And then 2 1/2. So this is a half, a half, a half, a half, 2, and then 2 1/2 right here. So you got to cut your own neck ribbing. And then I'm actually cutting 2 at once because it's, oh, why is that like that? Oh man, I'm gonna have to redo it. I can get it in the middle. All right, because I only need 14. I'm just cutting it double so you can share with a friend. 14 3/4 right there. All right, so I have, is it supposed to be 2 1/2? Oh, it's supposed to be 2 1/4. All right, I'll cut down 0.25 of that. Okay, all right. Okay, now iron and assemble. All right, so the sleeves, I'm gonna iron these so that you can do, you got it, come on, you can come over there. There you go. All right, so this is the back, I know because I have the 2 notches. I just wanna make sure that my hem prep here is mirroring each other. I don't want to have 2 right sleeves or 2 left sleeves. I want to have a left and a right. Okay. All right, so this is the back here. And then here's my 2 notches over on this side. So this is going to fold like this. So I get 2 mirrored sleeves. I will come over here, over here to the cover stitch machine, face down like this, and I'm gonna match my, I'm gonna see where my stitches are gonna fall right there. So I'm gonna put it right in here. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at this line, and I can also kind of feel and see my hem underneath there. One, and I'm not even going to cut my thread yet because don't need to. I'm just going to load this in and then trim it sleeves nice and hemmed and ready to go with a nice cover stitch. All right, I'll put those aside. All right, now I'm gonna put the body together. So I'm gonna scoot over here to the serger. This one is missing a thread. I'll come over here to the white one. So this is the back. This is the front. So this fabric is the same on front and back, so I don't have to worry about making sure right sides are together yet. Okay, so I'm going to attach the shoulders together first. One shoulder. Just one shoulder. Okay. Now I will attach that ribbing. Is it this one? I think so. Yep. All right. So the ribbing, if you see, the ribbing is way shorter than the opening of the neck. So it's supposed to be that way because the ribbing is very stretchy and you want a nice layout of a, you want the collar to lay nice and not gap open weird. So you want it to kind of close it together. So I'm going to match raw edges. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to match raw edges to raw edges along the neck. 10%. Oh no. Okay. I should get through with 10%. So I will match edge to edge, and then I'm going to stretch it to fit along the whole thing. Oh yeah, get the charger. You can plug it in, I guess.
My phone charger. My backpack. With the quickness, Kennedy. There you go.
Okay. So you can see how it's a lot shorter. So I'm going to stretch it to fit. Match it right here. And then match it here. So I'm pinning it so I make sure that it's all equally stretched out. You don't want to have it like super loose on the back and then super tight on the front. So I'm trying to equally space out the stretch. Is it in there? That one's weird. I'll cut this part out. It does not want to go in there. Here, let me try the navy one. There we go.
Okay.
All right,
Oh, it's.
we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good, okay. All right, so now it's kind of equally spaced apart. So now I'm going to serge all that together. Does not want to go in well, so I'm just going to push it in. Maybe it's because of this. But I want to make sure I get the ends matched up right. There. There we go. Do a few stitches to lock it in. You just want to stop and look every now and then, make sure you're matched up. Sorry. See, then now we have the neckline. Ta-da! Now, this is a big kind of frumpy seam allowance, so I'm going to go back to the cover stitch machine to stitch that down. You be right here, yeah. Alright, so when I use the cover stitch to stitch this down, I'm going to use this little notch right here in the foot. I'm going to put the needle in that groove. I'm going to put the foot in that groove so that it lines up just right.
There we go.
So this little notch right here, I'm keeping that in that seam. Here you go. You can get right here.
I'm not the one who flipped it.
There we go. So I'm using this finger to make sure that the fabric is down and it's not getting caught up like that. Because see, that's a lot of extra fabric that doesn't need to be there. So you want to make sure that the fabric is away from the seam. Whoop. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, now I'm going to put my shoulder together. And because this is really bulky, because that's really bulky right there to start off with, I'm going to start off where it's just 2 layers of fabric instead of 6. So I'm going to match shoulder to shoulder. Right in there. I'm gonna match. And then I want to make sure I get this together. Where'd those little snips go? There they are. I'm gonna leave that tail so I can tuck that in with a yarn needle. So I'm gonna take this tail and I'm gonna tuck it into the seam so that it disappears, and then I can trim it. And there we go. All right, so now I have the neck done. Ta-da! Now I'm gonna attach the sleeves and sew the rest of it. So we have our 2 sleeves, and we have our notches. The notches are going to match up. So this is the back, So that won't match because this is the back, but this is the back. So that means I need to use the other sleeve so that the two back notches are matching each other when everything is right sides out. So then I'm gonna flip it and do wrong sides together. I'm gonna match the center notch to where the seam is. And pin. Right there. And then on this side, I find where that notch is and match it to the front one. And then this back, the back notches, I match it to the back. Now I'm combining two curves to each other so they don't lay really nice. So that's okay. They're not supposed to lay nice. They're supposed to lay nice once it's on your body, not necessarily while you're sewing it. So now I'm gonna, while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and attach the other sleeve too. And for this one, I'm just gonna attach it right here. Okay. All right, back to the serger room. Okay, match edge to edge. So for just a couple stitches to lock it in, now I'm going to start manipulating the back so that I get matching raw edges the whole time. See how this side is wanting to curve up really bad, so I just adjust. Keep going. And you might have to pull the fabric a little bit, and that's totally fine. That's why it's knit, because it moves. Okay, there's that sleeve. Okay, there you go. All right, and now the other one. Match notches. Notice how this one I don't even have it heavily pinned. I'm just using the notches, and every time I get to a notch, I can kind of adjust. There we go. Okay, then I have the other sleeve. All right, so now I'm almost done. Looks like a t-shirt. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it. So see a t-shirt. So now I'm gonna flip it right sides together, and I'm gonna sew the side seams of the t-shirt. Both of them, and I see my notches right there, so I'm not even going to pin it. You should pin it, but I'm not going to pin it. And I'm going to start on this side so that I can finish on that hem, since there's more layers of fabric there. All right. Okay, there's my notches. Match up the armpit. make sure it ends right where it is. Okay, and again, I'll take that yarn needle and tuck that thread inside here where it will live forever and trim it. Okay, do the other side. Find my notches. Find my armpits. Get all these threads here so they'll get cut off. Okay, and thread. All right, almost done. Now all we got to do is hem it. All right, so for the hem, you're just going to cover stitch the bottom, but iron it first. All right, now I have it ironed and pressed all the way around for the hem. Come right here to the cover stitch. And we're gonna use it in the round, which means I'll have to knot it off at the end. So I'm gonna come in right here. I like to start on a side seam for this so that where you stop and start the seam can kind of get lost in the seam. Okay. These seams. And then pull away. All right, and so these, I can trim these. And this one is from this front part. So these front ones get buried in the back and then tied right here. Now, most of the time, you're supposed to be able to like pull them out, but most of the time I can't see them. So I just use a needle and thread. All right, so for here in the round, you can just cut them, but you run the risk of it eventually unraveling. So it's better to make sure that they're secure. I've had plenty of shirts I've gotten from stores where this bottom hem comes unraveled because they're just trimmed off instead of finished properly. Because it's quicker. And then with these, I just tie them all together. And trim.
Oh, you got it.
And then you finish it over with iron. Always make sure you trim everything. go. Ta-da!